Please exercise caution if you intend to imitate the actions in this video. Messing with spiritual energies when you don't know what you're doing is potentially very dangerous. I contacted something that night that I had no idea what it was. I've been practicing spiritually for at least 10 years at this point and know enough about how to protect and cleanse from these types of energies. When you send a vague invitation out to the spirit world, many vague things can possibly reach back to you. This reading is safe to view. Please enjoy and use as a cautionary tale.
Hello, dear ones. Welcome to Madame Fortoona's Pick a Card reading, Furry Fandom Edition. Today I'm going to pick a card for any questions that you may have pertaining to your career. This will be my first pick a card reading ever, so thank you for sharing this with me. For those of you who do not know what a pick a card reading is, I will present to you 3 options, each aligned with a certain crystal, and you will choose whichever crystal resonates the most with you. If there is a timestamp of a certain pile of cards that you prefer because you like the number, go with that as well. Choose from your heart. But first, the best way to choose is with an unfettered mind. So I welcome you to a gentle and simple meditation before we pick cards. Now we will begin our meditation with 3 deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. In your calm state, I want you to bring forward the thoughts in your mind that pertain to your career situation. Do not dwell, let them flow gently, and then release them. The intention for this reading is for you to find clarity and advice in this situation that is present in your mind right now. I invite forward the gentlest of angels and the most protective of angels to view upon our reading, to protect you and myself in this matter. I want you to imagine a pyramid of orange energy surrounding you and cupping you from underneath. This is your protective pyramid. May only angels and beings of the most divine high light be in your pyramid of protection, guiding you to the answers that are for your greatest and highest good. And with that, we move on to the crystals. Here are our crystals. We have an opalite owl, a clear quartz crystal point, and 2 stones of malachite. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Take your time to choose whichever one calls to you. Starting to record. So Nalu came in.
Hi, it's like 4:30 in the morning, and
Toon's doing this reading.
Yes.
Calling forth the spirit of the furry fandom.
At 4:30 in the morning.
And the veil is thin.
Yes.
What do you?
Okay. What do I want? I was worried about you. That's what I'm here about.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so,
4:30. The spirit of the fandom has entered our home.
Yes.
And
so I was falling asleep. And I suddenly I was more aware, and I felt my stomach drop, and I was like, okay, there's something going on in the living room, and either Toon's having some really negative thoughts right now, and I need to go and help, or something else really weird is going on. So I got out of bed, and I came in, and I accidentally scared the shit out of Toon.
Scared the shit out of me.
And I was like, is everything okay? I was full on, I was expecting you to be like crying or something.
No way.
Because the energy out here was so heavy and sad, or mad and sad. And I was like,
mad and sad.
I was like, either Toon's being really mean to herself or something out here is mean.
No,
so
I'm doing like all the work that I've asked the viewers to do now too, is like, I have them up. I did my Palo Santo. I've got a candle lit. I prayed to, who all the people that I've needed to pray to.
I've got my singing bowl out right now because it just felt so weird out here.
Yeah, and it's crazy because Nalu, like, I was able to, I've never done this before. I've never connected with the spirit of the furry fandom. And when I called on it, it was immediate. It was there immediately. And in my my mind's eye, it looks like this creature that is changing species like continually. Like of course, the first thing that comes to mind is a fox, but it was just changing and changing and changing because there are so many species in the fandom. Like I get bird, fox, wolf, bear, changing constantly. And I was starting to talk to it because I wanted to be respectful, right?
Yeah.
Just, because I'm asking it for information.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be respectful, and it's like, I am not sentimental. And I was like, okay. Oh my goodness.
I'm not sentimental.
And I was like, okay, so we'll just go on with it then. And like some of the cards came right away. And I mean, the feeling that I got from this spirit was just intensity. Just the I'm not sentimental, like let's go, like the cards were pulling right away. Like even right now, like I know we're having this conversation, it's like we were doing something. That's what I'm kind of getting right now.
Oh, jeez.
Not in like an angry way, just like in a very serious kind of way. And that's a real representation of our fandom right now.
Yeah,
so like,
I mean, with all the cancel culture on Twitter and the angriness on Twitter right now.
Are you guys angry?
There's a lot of anger right now on Twitter. Like recently, there's been anger about racist stuff going on.
Really?
And it's just it's wild over there.
Gosh. It is wild. We're furries. My goodness. I never even. This is intense, yo.
It is, yeah. So maybe if you're trying to do a reading for people, I would communicate with the viewer or whoever's watching at the moment instead of the whole spirit, because the spirit of the furry fandom, it's everywhere and it's all going through something different.
Here's the thing though. I think if nobody is talking to the spirit of the furry fandom, and I am maybe one of the first people or one of very few people who's talking to the spirit of the furry fandom, maybe it just needs some love, Maybe he just needs some love. Like maybe nobody's talking to him or channeling him. Maybe everyone's just kind of like contributing, like, hey, we don't need to be angry, okay? Like the intensity, yeah, there's kink culture and there's people trying to figure out how to express themselves and we're doing it as animals, but I don't know, like I get this like very like I'm using a he, pronoun to describe this creature right now, or not creature, the spirit. But I get like a protective kind of fatherly kind of like overarching vibe. But like, when you're not appreciated for what you do, of course you'd be kind of, angry or intense. Wouldn't you? Like if you're not appreciated, you wouldn't feel as good, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with this right now.
It's pretty wild.
How do you feel?
It feels like you said, like a wild animal.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I need to back away or else I'm gonna get clawed. Yeah.
Well, where you stand right now, do you feel safe? You're in a comfortable position right now. What do you need to do to make yourself feel safe and equilibrium right now? Should I stop the reading?
No, I think you're fine. I'm just gonna do a singing bowl real quick,
Okay.
and that'll help, I think.
Okay.
Just to purify the air.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm getting like a sense of like, Katra's animal, like her companion towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
How it was like a giant scary creature.
The red and then the blue.
Yeah, and then after it was tamed and kind of understood, it became calm, and then it just started matching her emotions.
Yeah, I kind of got that too. I was like being very non-threatening and saying like, hey, I acknowledge you. I'm sorry I hadn't thought to before.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching over us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think that helped.
Yeah. Do you feel better?
I feel better.
Do you feel safer?
I feel safer. I still feel a little bit on edge, but.
That's okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I invited the spirit into our home.
You're fine. I just felt it. It was like,
yeah,
just
wow.
barged in, and I was like, oh my god.
I'm so sorry. I should have told you.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay, well, do your protective wards and do your thing, okay?
You too.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Goodness. I am a spiritual schnolf, and Nalu is a spiritual catfish. And whatever you believe, you believe. Take everything with a grain of salt. Discern for yourself. But we have definitely made contact with a or the spirit of the furry fandom tonight with this reading. So you can be confident in knowing that that is where this information is coming from. In today's reading, I will be starting with a single overarching energy from the Power Animal Oracle card deck. And each card is clarified with a tarot card from the Wise Dog Tarot deck. Pile number 1, which is the Opal Owl. The card you received in your career tarot reading is the Cougar. Be bold and take charge. From the book. You're being called to take a role of leadership, and it's natural for certain fears and considerations to surface, such as, will I be seen as arrogant, bullying, or full of myself? Will others listen to me? Will I be challenged? Well, the truth is, these are all possible. We need to just get over it, rise above all these mind-made fears, and heed the call. Whether you realize it or not, you're a natural leader, and there's no need to diminish the hard-earned skills you've learned through life lessons just so you can play it safe. What you have to offer is needed right now, whether it's with your partner, your family, your community, or the larger world around you, or your career. You will be judged. Count on it. And you need to hear these judgments, yet not allow them to rule you. Don't mistake ego-driven stubbornness and willfulness for determination. Listen to the voice of your inner nature and the wisdom gathered from experience to guide your choices. Acknowledge that everyone else has to make their own choices, including their response to you. Remember that effective leaders are good listeners. They know when to follow and when to lead. and when to move forward and when to hold still. Confidence. Be bold and take charge. And the clarifying cards, there are two, the King of Swords and the Page of Cups. Page of Cups. When we open our hearts, our ears become more receptive. The messages that may have been seen too faint to hear come in loud and clear. Expect the unexpected and embrace the unusual, because when you do, you will find wisdom. So, if we are talking about the Page of Cups, which is being open and receptive, you can see he's got a doggy. He's getting a cup from some kind of octopus or kraken-like creature, and there's a fish inside the cup, representing an opportunity, an idea, something of the like. And if we have that pairing with our cougar asking you to be bold and take charge, what did we hear? That a good leader is a good listener. So listen for an interesting and unusual opportunity. But we've got one more clarifier card, and that is the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is a active decider and a leader, and he always makes choices that will benefit his kingdom, his family, and himself, of course. The King of Swords is the one who is able to go above it all and look at the whole situation logically to make the right decision. Once he has his idea, he makes an active choice. The King of Swords offers a mature perspective and the energy of a sage who is confident in his thoughts and beliefs. There's no need to rush judgment. Take the time to ensure each decision is fair and that it honors both the logical and emotional needs of all those involved. So it sounds like, pile number one, your career decision might be affecting more than just yourself. It sounds like whatever decisions you are making in your career will have an effect on your family, chosen family, your team. It sounds like if that is your situation, you will have to consider your family and the people who will be affected by some kind of change. Look at all of the options, look at all of the outcomes before you make a decision. And you are highly encouraged to listen to others around you and take their advice about how any decision that you might make will affect them. But you are a leader, and I trust that you will make the right decision for yourself and the people around you. This is just a reminder of who you are and what you can do, and to give you the confidence to know that you are a leader and you are a listener and you will make the right decision. Very nice. Oh, pile number two with the clear quartz point. We have the porcupine. Innocence. Free yourself of guilt and shame. Aw, that's really sweet. This was the one that flew out. Free yourself of guilt and shame. In a career reading. See the world through the eyes of a child. Trusting your inner mother and father to be there whenever you need them. Protection is available when you need it, so you can feel safe in expressing yourself in all the different ways you've always wanted to. There's boldness in innocence and no need to hide behind any childhood guilt about perceived misdeeds or be consumed with shame about revealing your true self. You're a gentle soul and have never intentionally harmed anyone. Release any guilt over your behavior or shame about yourself in this situation. There's no need to feel resentful, victimized, or arrogant towards anyone else either. In your heart, live in the garden. Others may cause you to prickle, but truly, most of what they do or say to you is harmless and not a threat. So be joyful and grateful and let everything you do be done with complete abandon. Dance, laugh, sing, and be free again. Just be like you were on the day you were born. Humility, protection, sensitivity, and trust. This is a thoughtful one. The porcupine is saying in your career, it seems that maybe you want to take some kind of risk or make a change that is affected by what you think others will perceive about you. And the advice is to free yourself. Have the mind of a child that has not been pestered or jaded by judgment growing up, going through life, school, parenting. Parent yourself. Give yourself what you need to feel healed and innocent again. And here come the clarifiers. So your first clarifying card for the porcupine is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords says, with growth comes understanding of when it is okay to be a little selfish and when it is not. Are you clever or are you acting like a little D-spot? Maturity and life lessons bring insights that will help you recognize when your actions may be hurting others you care about and also yourself. Your next clarifying card is the Ten of Wands, and this is definitely a releasing of a burden. The goal may have been easy to spot. However, what may not have been as apparent from the start were the bumps and hurdles, the uphill climbs, and the challenges of your commitment along the way. Are you dedicated to finding success? Is the goal worth pushing on despite the setbacks? The Ten of Wands is about laying down a load that no longer serves you. Is it worth it to keep carrying this load? Is the payout worth it? You have to decide. So this is interesting. This is interesting because the overall energy is freeing yourself of guilt and shame. And yet the cards are, and the clarifying cards, you're freeing yourself of guilt and shame. And then you have a clarifying card of maturity and then laying down a heavy burden. So maybe it is time to release yourself from this position. Maybe it is time to release yourself from this position that you are in right now and understand that that there are times that it's okay to be selfish. There's a certain amount of time that you can spend caring about yourself and how you feel in the situation and how you are interacting with your coworkers perhaps. And then you're also knowing when to let go. Is it time to let go? Because is it worth the uphill battle? Is it worth the pain of carrying this load? Is it worth the pain of carrying this load when you only feel guilt and shame with the outcome? It's time to release yourself from these life lessons that you've learned to a point where it's sometimes you need to be selfish to take care of yourself, but sometimes it's too much. So now it's time to lay down this load. Lay down this burden and free yourself of the guilt and shame that you have acquired during this battle. So pile number 2, it seems that it is time for you to move on to greener pastures or to adjust your thinking, raise your level of maturity. Maybe the guilt and shame that you feel in this situation is what is preventing you from moving forward, and maybe that is what is making this burden so heavy for you to bear, because you care so much about what other people think of you that it's making it harder for you to progress. So either maybe lay down the load of this career or lay down the load of the guilt and shame that you are carrying with you. It's time to let go so that you can move on and be free. Free to do your best work. And that's for you, pile number 2. All right, we are on pile number 3. We've got the beautiful malachite stones. So pile number 3, your card is the kangaroo. Gratitude. Be grateful for all that you are blessed with. The kangaroo. In this very material-oriented world, where you are consistently bombarded with so many possibilities and choices for acquisition and accumulation, It's easy to forget to be grounded for what you do have rather than feeling envious and resentful for what you don't have. Trust that you'll always have what you need. Allow the richness and goodness of our fair and generous Mother Earth to be yours, not for the taking of avarice and greed, but out of acceptance and continuous appreciation for the gifts that you receive. Everything that comes your way, in actuality, is a gift, whether or not you consciously manifested it. Thou shalt not want doesn't mean that you shouldn't have desires, but that you shall never have to go without food, water, shelter, or love. That is, unless you deny life the privilege of providing these things for you. Today, every time you receive a gift of goods, services, love, or money, express your gratitude to the giver and the creator, if only by simply saying thank you. Remember always that no matter who or how the gift is delivered, it comes from the creator. Nurturing generosity, abundance, and family. All right, Malachite. Clarifying cards. Dang, Kitty, you got some good ones. You have the 7 of Pentacles and the Justice card. Now, the Justice card is a major arcana, so this is a more serious energy. It seems that this gratitude card is kind of saying that whatever you've done to get to where you are right now is something that you've worked towards. And having gratitude is a part of our manifestation journey. To affirm and say thank you to the creator and thank you to yourself for what you've manifested is integral to keeping your manifestation. This pile also got a third clarifying card, which is the 3 of Wands. With the 7 of Pentacles, it says invest in your journey. When you see the value and use your resources to create stepping stones, you will discover that new paths will sprout. The new opportunities will appear. The 3 of Wands says change is on the horizon. Pay attention to the signs the universe is offering. The 3 of Wands offers divine guidance as you embark on a new path. New opportunities and potentials replace a situation that has run its course. Interesting. So you've got planted seeds. You've got planted seeds with new opportunities on the way. Come from your own hard work, because there are 7 of them, right? All those seeds that you planted. And then you've got a situation that has run its course, and it's time to move in a different direction, if you want to. Let's see about this Justice card. Justice. The idea of what is good and what is bad is relative, and what may be perceived as beneficial today may end up being detrimental in the future. Justice asks you to weigh each decision carefully using your knowledge, past experiences, and intuition, as the outcome will not always be so black and white. You will need to consider that there may be gray areas. Balance, logical, unbiased decision making. Interesting. So with the Justice card is saying that you need to make a decision based on long-term success. One opportunity may look shiny and pretty, and the other one not as glamorous, but the less glamorous choice may be the one that will keep you happiest in the long run. It seems something has run its course, but there is opportunity along the way, and you will have many choices on which opportunities these are. Good for you. Good for you. All in all, be grateful. Be grateful for those opportunities, because they are also a gift from the Creator. And it's not just us. It's not just me. It's we. Not just me, it's we. When we are co-creating our lives together. So, pile number 3, when your new opportunities come through and it's time to make a decision and move on, make sure that your choice reflects the longevity you want to create. Glamour can be short-lived. Stability, priceless. All in all, you worked hard. You did a good job, and you cultivated these things. However, it's not time to be arrogant. It's time to stay humble and keep doing what you're doing in your hard work. Stay humble. Be gracious. Say thank you to the Creator. Gratitude and graciousness is much more respected than arrogance. So remember to show gratitude in your day-to-day life. And good job. And that is the end of our reading. Thank you very much for coming and joining us. And that was incredibly surprising. And Nalu felt it from the other room. Take this information and do good with it. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.